Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with a haul from Vintage Chic Scents from her February 19th, 2016 restock. This restock was based off of Fashion Week, so it had a Fashion Week theme. She had poured, I think she had introduced 5 new scents and then poured a bunch of classic scents as well. Personally, I was super late to this restock. I was helping little Jay because she was sick all last week. And literally, I was watching for the restock because I had a pretty good sized wish list. But I literally, in the time it took for me to load a DVD or a Blu-ray into my Blu-ray player for her and get it started, in that point in time was when Kirby opened. And so I was about 5 or 6 minutes late getting into the restock by the time I realized that she had opened. And that's really all it takes, guys. If you're not right on top of it, you're not going to be able to get really what you want. You have to be right on top of it for the most part. Not ever saying that you can't get something, because she does have a lot of stuff. Lately, especially now that she's pouring a ton, she does have a lot of stuff that tends to stay in stock longer. So you can kind of get in there a little bit late and still manage to get stuff. But if you've got a wish list and your wish list is like really hot fragrances or something that you know is going to be really popular, if you're not right on top of that restock time, you're not going to get it. That definitely happened to me this time. I was after she had poured some new Sweeney's Barbershop inspired type scents, and we all know that Sweeney's is my favorite. She had poured a sampler that had Sweeney's, and then it had a Mrs. Lovett scent, which is blueberry and pie, or blueberry and shaving cream and mint, and a Joanna, and it was rosemary, mint, strawberry, and shaving cream. So a little bit different variations on the Sweeney scents, and she had poured those in a sampler. I was really after those this time. Didn't get them. It's totally fine. She pours everything again, but my lateness contributed to the fact that I really didn't get too much of what was on my wish list. I did manage to get these 2 loaves, so I'm going to go over those with you real quick. And like I said, it doesn't bother me. It did a little bit at first. Of course, you have a little bit of initial disappointment when you jump in and your wish list stuff, you try to drop it in your cart and it says it's not available. There is a little bit of initial disappointment, absolutely. But with Kirby, she always, because she has the voting, the polls every month, and she tends to pour stuff that's been really popular. If people are asking for it, she'll pour it. I'm not really that worried about it. There was also a Bombshell Blossom bag that I had kind of asked for in the group that she poured. I missed that. So I really didn't have very good luck with this particular restock, but it's okay because she pours everything again. I mean, it all comes back around eventually. So I'm sure that I will get a chance to try the Sweeney's Barbershop trio scents at some point in time. Anyways, so what I did manage to get was something that she has that she calls Plain Jane loaves. And they're basically loaves that are in one scent. So it's another opportunity if you have a scent that you really love and she happens to pour it, you can get that scent in bulk. I mean, she calls them mini loaves. I'll show them to you in just a minute. Well, they're right there, but I'll show them to you in just a minute. They're not really mini loaves. I feel like they're probably 1 pound loaves each, which is easily the size of a deluxe blossom bag. So I have basically a deluxe blossom bag in each one of the scents that I bought, and they are scents that I dearly love. So not disappointed at all with the restock. Disappointed in myself that I was late to the party, but it is definitely something that'll come around again for me. So not a big deal. All right, so as always, Kirby packs the business card. And then here's the doily for this time around. And it took me a little while. People were posting their orders. And since my order was later, I got my order probably like 3 days after people started getting their orders, everyone's doilies said work it. And I was like, why do they all say work it? And then I thought, it's Fashion Week. So I had a little bit of a blonde moment there. And, but now I know, work it, Fashion Week, we're good. And this is adorable. And I don't usually keep my doilies. I'm totally keeping this one. Love it. So again, she sent 2 samples as always. This one here is Meet Me in St. Louis. I have had this one before quite a bit. It's actually a scent I really love. It is warm vanilla sugar, fig, and glistening snow. It is not sweet at all. This is a clean scent. This is a laundry scent. Believe it or not, it smells like dryer sheets. Just dead on dryer sheets. If you like that kind of scent, that's what this is. This Meet Me in St. Louis, it throws like a dream. I like melting this a lot on cleaning days. So I'm glad to have more Meet Me in St. Louis because that's always a good one for cleaning days. Then I got Lancelot and Guinevere. This was actually a scent that she poured last month for the first time, and a lot of people were really talking about it. This is a Vanilla Lace dupe. Vanilla Lace is a Victoria's Secret perfume, which is basically vanilla and musk. And I can see why people like it. It's really kind of nice. It's a very rich, like the musk just makes the vanilla very, very rich. I don't know how else to explain that. It's very, very good. I really like this a lot. So I totally understand why people were saying that they loved this one. I'm glad to be able to try that. And then the loaves that I got, these are called Plain Jane loaves. They're going to be a little bit different than what I had for you last month that had all the different colored roses inside. If you saw my video where I cut that one. These ones are just a solid loaf. So this duo was called Marilyn. And the idea is that you can melt these either on their own or together. Now, I personally will probably do both. I love either one of the scent blends on its own. And I also love them together. And I'll tell you why here in just a minute. I did want to show these. She does send an empty bakery bag every time you get a loaf. I didn't show this last month, but she does send one of these to bag it in after you're done cutting it if you want to. So that's nice. So the 2 scents that I got are Mrs. DiMaggio's Dream. This one is Blonde Moment, Strawberry Raspberry Guava, and Cotton Candy Frosting. Very super yummy, fruity scent. I love Strawberry Raspberry Guava. I love Blonde Moment. I love Cotton Candy Frosting. You really can't go wrong. This is mainly a Strawberry Raspberry Guava scent. But when you pull it out of the tin, you can see where it differs from last month's loaf. It is just one scent, uniform throughout. So I'm not sure. I think this one will probably cut a little bit easier than the ones with all the roses inside them because this is more of an even distribution of wax. It's not going to be as pretty, but it might be easier to cut. But so anyway, this one is really good. I've had this one quite a bit last summer in some rose shapes and stuff, and it melts gloriously, but I have never had it in this big of a volume, so I'm excited to have that. That one is Mrs. DiMaggio's Dream. And then the other one is Norma Jean, which I actually hadn't seen her pour in quite some time. But this is a serendipity blend. So this is going to be cherry coconut, which is what serendipity mainly is, vanilla bean noel, and marshmallow. This is so good. I love serendipity so much. You guys know this. So So this one's just pink throughout. The edges broke off a little bit, but I'm not worried about it. So there is that one. And I love, as we all know, I love Serendipity. I love Strawberry Raspberry Guava. And so I really wanted these. They were on my wish list, and I was really excited to see that they didn't sell out right away, because it was something that I did want to get each one of those scents in a big volume. I love Serendipity and Strawberry Raspberry Guava melted together, and they're both fabulous on their own too. So this is definitely something where I will experiment with melting them on their own and blending them with each other, and so I'm excited to have those. These Plain Jane Loaf Duos. This is something that is new for 2016. She hadn't done it before. They do show up on the sampler section of her website when you go in to buy. So if you go in there, she just has a stock picture of roses for all of her samplers. Not everything is going to be in rose form. These Plain Jane Loaf Duos are obviously in loaf form. They're not going to be in rose form. And so pay attention when you're going in if you want to buy samplers, especially if you are late to the party and you're like wondering kind of what's left over, and somebody says that's what's left over in a certain section. Don't expect, if you're getting a Plain Jane Loaf Duo, expect to get loaves. I know that sounds a little silly, but the questions come up a couple of times as her group is getting bigger. You know, people are wondering, why is it on the sampler section if it's loaves? That's just easier for her on her bookkeeping end to categorize it as a sampler. So just pay attention when you're ordering. Even if it's in the sampler section, if it says Plain Jane Loaf Duos, this is what you're going to be getting. So that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Her next restock is going to be March 18th, anytime March 18th. She updates the Facebook group as always as soon as she's restocked, and it is based on British royalty this time. She's already introduced all the new scents. If you go to her Facebook group and check out the pinned post, she has not let us know in what format things are going to be poured yet. She'll be updating that on March 4th. So this coming Friday, she'll update that. But she has let us know what the new scents are, the featured scents for the month. So just some food for thought. British royalty sounds interesting. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Have an excellent day.